பார்த்த உடனே பிள்ளைங்க சொன்னான்.
இல்ல ஒரு இடத்துல உட்கார்ந்து வேலை பார்க்கறாங்களா இவங்க, ஓடிக்கிட்டே இருக்காங்க அப்படிங்க. எனக்கு 17 கிளாஸ் பீரியட் போட்டிருக்குல்ல, அப்ப நான் போகத்தானே செய்வேன். இப்ப சிஸ்டரோட போனா சிஸ்டரோட கேட்டுக்கிட்டு இருக்கேன். சரி, ஏற்கனவே என்னை பத்தி எல்லாத்தையும் மோசமா சொல்றாங்கன்னு போட்டு நீங்க மேல தூங்க போயிருக்கீங்க நினைச்சேன். மேல தூங்க போயிருக்கீங்க நினைச்சேன். ஓகே சொல்லிட்டேன். அப்புறம் உங்களுக்கு என்ன தோணுது? மட்டும்தான் வேற யாரும் அனுப்புவோம். பேக்கோட உள்ள போச்சா பின்னாடி வைக்கணும். பிரேக்ல வந்து பேக் வச்சு
Education, Reverend Sister Agnes, ICM, Assistant Professor of Education, and Ms. S. Jabashila Jennifer, Assistant Professor of Physical Science, and all the professors and the student teachers and the online participants. Welcome you all to the 2-day international conference on interdisciplinary pathways, greening humanity through ecological justice, organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of our institution. We also welcome the distinguished delegates and research scholars present in the online outline for this conference. In an era marked by the ecological urgency and moral responsibility, the call to reimagine our relationship with nature has never been more profound. Bringing together scholars, educators, researchers, and practitioners from diverse domains, the conference seeks to ignite critical reflection, inspire eco-ethical leadership, and cultivate transformative pathway toward a greener and more equitable future. Rooted in the conviction that education is the most enduring catalyst for planetary well-being, this conference stands as a solemn commitment to shaping minds that care deeply, think critically, and act responsibly for the preservation of shared earth. When knowledge is guided by conscience, learning becomes a force for change. Thank you all. Every significant endeavor begins with grace. As we step into this special occasion, let us take a quiet moment to connect with the divine through prayer. I invite everyone to rise and join the prayer song led by the college choir, allowing its soulful harmony to inspire, uplift, and unite as one. Kindly rise for the prayer song. You are the gifter, you are the giving, we are uplifted, you are living, you say. You promised you would give the words to say. You touched my heart and I began to pray. And all my friends and friends went away. And all the words that held my feelings inside were thrown up and wide forever. You are the present, you are the pain. When I before you are me, you say, you are the gifter, you are the giving. We are uplifted, you are living, you say. It's time for lighting the lamp. Light has always symbolized knowledge, hope, and the triumph of wisdom over ignorance. As we gather for this international conference, lighting the ceremonial lamp signifies the illumination of minds, the awakening of ideas, and our collective commitment to truth and sustainability. I now respectfully invite our honorable dignitaries to light the lamp and formally inaugurate this academic gathering. For that, I request Reverend Sister A. Mary Celestina, Secretary of our institution, Reverend Sister Dr. L. Basti Medrona, Principal of our institution, Dr. J. Sumita, to Chief Guest and the Principal of Rani Anna Government College for Women Trinity, Dr. M. Maria Saroja, IPSC Coordinator and Research Coordinator of our St.Ignatius College of Education, and the Research Scholar from Dr. Sivani Atran College, Sivani Atran College, Trichandur. As the flame glows, it signifies the formal opening of this conference and our shared resolve to nurture the ecological consciousness, interdisciplinary thinking, and a sustainable future for humanity. Thank you, sister. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. This journey towards environmental responsibility begins with a thoughtful welcome to welcome the gathering with the minds in harmony and nurture shared stewardship of humanity and earth, just as nature unfolds through gentle and purposeful beginnings. Every profound scholarly dialogue takes root in words of welcome that inspire ideas, awaken responsibility, and guide us towards ecological balance and collective wisdom. To offer such a gracious beginning and to formally usher us into this enriching academic journey, we now request a voice that embodies warmth, wisdom, and spirit of our institution. For that, I request Reverend Sister Arusugati Agnes, Assistant Professor of Education, to deliver the welcome address. Please, Sister.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, revered religious sisters, eminent scholars, distinguished resource persons, delegates joining us from far and near, both physically and digitally, dear colleagues, enthusiastic researchers, and my dear students, a very warm, green, and graceful welcome to one and all. This morning, our campus breathes a little deeper, for ideas have arrived from many disciplines, and hope has traveled across borders, not by visa, but by vision. On behalf of St. Ignatius College of Education and the ever vigilant internal quality assurance cell, it's my proud privilege to welcome you all to this two-day international conference on the evocative and timely theme, Interdisciplinary Pathways, Greening Humanity Through Ecological Justice. Today, we are not merely inaugurating a conference, we are planting an intellectual sapling, watering it with dialogue, and trusting that it will grow into action. As we begin, as we begin this morning with prayer and the lighting of the lamp, we reminded ourselves that knowledge without values is blind, and development without justice is barren. We are deeply honored by the gracious presence of Reverend Sister Mary Celestina, our respected secretary, a leader whose administrative wisdom is matched only by her quiet compassion. We welcome you with gratitude and grace, sister. With immense respect, we extend a warm welcome to our convener and keynote speaker, Reverend Sister Dr. Vasanthi Medona, our dynamic principal, a visionary academic who reminds us that education must not only inform minds but also transform lives and landscapes. Sister, your leadership keeps our roots strong and our branches ambitious. We are eagerly waiting to be illumined by the larger vision and moral compass of this conference. We welcome you, dear sister. We are very much honored by the presence of Dr. J. Sumita, the principal, Rani Anna Government College for Women, Tirunelveli, whose leadership in public higher education stands as a testament to equity and excellence working hand in hand. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. We warmly welcome Dr. Maria Saroja, our IPSC coordinator, research director, and associate professor of biological science, whose scholarly commitment ensures that quality is not a checkbox but a culture. Ma'am, you truly prove that research is not just the study of life but the art of sustaining it. Welcome you, dear ma'am. We are honored by the gracious presence of Dr. E.C. Punita, Dean and Associate Professor of English, whose visits encouraged the school community and affirmed the value of inclusive education. Hearty welcome, ma'am. Our sincere welcome to Dr. R. Indra Mary Elizabeth, Controller of Examinations and Assistant Professor of Psychology, who balances marks with minds and evaluations with empathy. Ma'am, thank you for reminding us that even in assessments, humanity must not go out of syllabus. A gracious welcome to you, ma'am. We also warmly welcome Dr. Jayasudha, Vice Principal and Assistant Professor of History, whose presence reflected solidarity and support for the mission of forming compassionate and confident learners. A harmonious welcome, ma'am. We are equally delighted to welcome Dr. J. Maria Prema, M.Ed Coordinator and Assistant Professor of Education, Dr. Depriya, as Assistant Professor of Biological Science, Jennifer, ma'am, for being the Secretary of this conference. A greeting welcome to all of you, ma'am. A special welcome to our international and national resource persons, organizing secretaries, researchers, paper presenters, and delegates. You have traveled across disciplines and distances to remind us that ecological justice is not one subject's responsibility, but everyone's accountability. In a world warming faster than our laptops, where climate change debates trend more than climate action, this conference dares to ask a bold question. Can humanity still be green in thought, in action, and in conscience? Judging by this gathering, the answer is a confident yes. May these 2 days be rich with ideas, honest in dialogue, and courageous in interdisciplinary thinking. May we live not just with certificates, but with convictions. With these words, I once again extend a hearty welcome to each one of you to this. Let the conference begin, not just on paper, but in purpose. It's time to honor our chief guest, Dr. J. Sumita, the principal of Rani Anna Government College for Women. May I request Sister Secretary Reverend A. Sister A. May Celestina to honor her with a memento, and Sister Principal Reverend Dr. Vasanthi Medona to honor her with a certificate. Please, sisters. Thank you and welcome to all of present here.
Thank you, sister, for the gracious words of welcome. To set the course for this international scholarly endeavor and to briefly outline the vision, structure, and interdisciplinary flow of the conference, I request Dr. M. Maria Saroja, Research Director, IQAC Coordinator, and Associate Professor of Biological Science, who stands as the luminous force where scholarly excellence converges with ecological consciousness. Her leadership is grounded in scientific discipline, interdisciplinary insight, and the cultivation of ethical knowledge. Her work embodies a seamless harmony of scientific wisdom, institutional advancement, and future-ready educational vision. At this juncture, I request Dr. M. Maria Saroja, Research Director and Associate Professor of Biological Science, to present the dynamics of the conference.
The most respected Reverend Sister Mary Celestina, the Secretary of our college, the most respected Reverend Dr. Vasanthi Melona, the Principal, respected Dr. Smita, the Principal, Rayana Government College for Women, Tirunelveli, dear Dr. Indra Mary Eliselvi, Dr. Maria Prema, Reverend Sister Arushikanti Agnes, Miss Jebashila Jennifer, Ms. Michael Giapriya, the organizing secretaries of the International Conference, Dr. E.C. Punita, the Dean, learned professors of St.Ignatius College of Education, and my dear participants. Today, we gather to address a critical issue that affects us all, the health of our planet and the well-being of its inhabitants. As we stand at the crossroads of history, it is crucial that we can recognize the urgent need to bring humanity through ecological justice. We live in a world where the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the soil we cultivate are all interconnected. Yet, our actions have led to destructive consequences, including climate change, deforestation, pollution, and the loss of biodiversity. These issues disproportionately affect the most vulnerable among us, perpetuating inequality and injustice. But this is not just an environmental issue, it is a human right issue. And we need to understand that the right to a healthy environment is fundamental to human dignity and well-being. We must recognize the intrinsic value of nature and the rights of all living beings to thrive. So what we can do? First, we must adopt sustainable agriculture practices, conserve water, and reduce waste. Moreover, the need to prioritize ecological justice. This means ensuring that the benefits and the burdens of environmental policies are shared equitably. It means listening to and amplifying the voices of marginalized communities, indigenous people, and the future generation. Therefore, we must take bold action to protect our planet. So what we can do? We can support policies that promote sustainability, invest in green technologies, and adopt eco-friendly practices in our daily life. Let us work together to bring humanity through ecological justice and recognize the interconnectedness of our world and our responsibility to protect it. With this aim in view, our College of Education is organizing an international conference on interdisciplinary pathways greening humanity through ecological justice. The conference emphasizes the need for collaborative and interdisciplinary approaches to address the pressing challenges of environmental degradation, climate change, and social inequities. By integrating insights from education, science, technology, social sciences, and humanities. It seeks to foster a deeper understanding of ecological justice as a foundation for sustainable living. The vital areas to be discussed are transformative education for ecological consciousness, environmental human rights, green technologies and sustainable innovation, socio-economic justice and sustainable development, global governance and policy pathways of sustainability, ecological psychology and behavioral transformation, eco-aesthetics in art, literature and culture, community resilience and localized pathway to climate justice. At this conference, 96 academicians of various disciplines are presenting the paper and more than 142 delegates are attending this conference. We assure that this conference will enrich your knowledge on ways and means of saving nature with ecological justice. The conference helps to recognize the intrinsic value of nature, prioritize sustainability, and promote equity and justice in our interaction with the natural world. By working together to address the root causes of environmental degradation, we can create a more just and sustainable future for all. Ultimately, the conference envisions nurturing and environmentally conscious humanity that upholds justice, inclusivity, and responsibility towards the planet and future generations. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. When intellect meets integrity and vision finds direction, a keynote becomes a catalyst for change. As we move on into the intellectual heart of this international conference, we are privileged to listen to a leader whose words shape institutions and whose vision nurtures sustainable futures. We are deeply honored to be guided by a distinguished academic visionary leader whose intellectual depth and unwavering commitment have shaped the soul of our institution. As an academic marvel with an inquisitive mind and exemplary discernment, she leads with precision, compassion, and purpose, blending brilliance of thoughts with empathy in action. Through green initiatives, environmental awareness drives the campus, and value-based eco-practices she instills responsibility in future educators with resilience, moral clarity, emotional intelligence, and steadfast integrity. She exemplifies enlightened leadership with all her thoughts and actions. Under her stewardship, the institution flourishes as a center of academic excellence, ecological sensitivity, and social responsibility. It is with deep admiration and heartfelt respect that we now invite our beloved principal, Reverend Sister Dr. L. Vasanthy Medina, to deliver the welcome address, some keynote address, and illuminate this gathering with her profound insights. Please, Sister.
Dear and respected Reverend Sister Mary Celestina, the Secretary of our college, respected dignitaries, distinguished scholars, passionate educators, international delegates, Reverend Dr. Sumita, Principal of Raniana Government College for Women, the chief guest of this inaugural session, the resource person who is seated in front of us, and my dear organizing secretaries, Dr. Maria Saroja, Dr. Indra Mary, Eril Selvi, Dr. Maria Prema, Reverend Sister Arun Suganti Agnes, Ms. Jabashila Jennifer, Ms. Michael Jaypriya, and dear Dean, Dr. E.C. Punita, the Vice Principal, Dr. Sudha, and the faculty members, and my beloved students and dear friends. A warm and hopeful morning to each one of you. It's both an honor and a profound responsibility to welcome you to this two-day international conference dedicated to one of the most urgent, complex, and life-giving missions of our time, greening humanity through ecological justice. We gather not
merely for intellectual exchange, but for a collective awakening. The earth is speaking to us through depleted soils, dying rivers, melting glaciers, raging cyclones, and suffocating heat waves. Its message is sharp and uncompromising. It calls us, humanity must transform or humanity will perish. Here at St. Ignatius College of Education, a campus rooted in compassionate education and social responsibility, we dare to ask a radical question: how can interdisciplinary pathways help us reimagine a greener humanity, one rooted in justice, harmony, and hope? Ecological destruction today is not just an environmental concern, it's a moral, cultural, economic, spiritual, and existential crisis. It springs from systems that privilege profit over people, progress over the systems, progress over the planet, and consumption over compassion. To speak of ecological justice is to confront bold truths that the climate crisis is inseparable from poverty, displacement, and exploitation, that environmental degradation worsens gender and social inequalities, that unchecked consumerism drives ecological collapse, and that the cry of the earth is linked with the cry of the poor. No single discipline can heal these shared wounds. We need the scientists to unravel climate realities, the economics to reimagine sustainable growth, the educator to nurture ecological consciousness, the psychologist to address eco-anxiety, the artist to awaken moral imagination, the theologian to restore spiritual harmony, and every citizen who chooses responsibility over indifference. Ecological justice becomes meaningful only when every mind, every heart, and every community participates in regeneration. Interdisciplinarity is no longer optional, it's a moral necessity. Forests burn across political boundaries, rivers dry beyond geographical lines, polluted air affects health, education, and livelihoods together. Our fragmented world demands integrated thinking, courageous collaboration, and collective moral imagination. At this juncture, we are invited to lead this transformation with vision, responsibility, and creativity. To green humanity is to green our consciousness, moving from exploitation to stewardship, dominance to interdependence, access to sufficiency, and information to transformation. A greener humanity is not that one that knows more, but one that lives differently. This transformation begins with teacher educators, for teachers shape worldviews and worldviews shape the future. If we form educators who are eco-literate, justice-rooted, and value-driven, they will form generations capable of healing the Mother Earth. In an age overwhelmed by climate anxiety, we must choose radical hope, a hope that rises like a seed through concrete, hope that resists despair, hope that believes humanity can regenerate itself. This conference is a sign of
that hope. As we embark on this journey together, I leave you with a daring question. Will we observe ecological collapse, or will we become architects of ecological justice? May these 2 days ignite bold conversations, life-giving collaborations, and an enduring commitment to a greener, more just, and ever cherishing world. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. It's time to hear from our chief guest of this inaugural session. We are honored to have a very eminent leader whose service extends beyond institutional boundaries into the empowerment of women, the upliftment of the society, and stewardship of nature. As a committed educationalist and compassionate administrator, she has consistently championed inclusive education, women's advancement, and value-based learning, nurturing generation of learners to become socially responsible and environmentally conscious citizens. At this special occasion, we invite Dr. J. Sumita, Principal of Rani Anna Government College for Women Secondary, to give the inaugural address for this session. Please, ma'am.
Good morning to one and all present here. I am very pleased to stand before you on this 2-day international seminar on interdisciplinary pathways leading humanity through ecological justice. So the hills breathe calm, a silent river's flow. Leaves whisper to the restless winds. The sun paints hope across the open sky, and earth reminds our hearts how to be slow. Today, the challenges of climate change and environmental degradation cannot be solved by a single field alone. Caring for the planet must go hand in hand with caring for people. In a women's college like this, discussion is especially meaningful as we play a major role in leading a change towards a greener future. We, the most intelligent being that ever walked the planet Earth with extreme brain, nature is not a place to visit, it is a home. Yet, we are destroying the only home we have. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, but we borrow it from our children. In this ever-changing world, our Mother Nature gives us clean air with green space. In return, we burden it with pollution and face the wrath of climate change. Global warming is the word spoken very often now. Everywhere we experience the cloudburst and the cyclones. Fair distribution of benefits and burdens of environment is needed. Today, all environment problems are linked to social, economic, and political structure. Ecological justice extends to non-human species and ecosystems. We need a holistic approach that integrates social justice. It is a movement and framework that includes future generations that deserve a healthy planet. Education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. Let's green living embark a new eco-friendly lifestyle today. So we have to think over the lifestyle which we are following. For every purpose, we are using plastics. Plastics are more dangerous and they are not eco-friendly. It takes about 1,000 years for a single molecule of plastic to degrade. So before using a plastic carry bag or plastic wrappers, we have to think it over that we are damaging the mother planet. So we have to say no to plastic, say no to nuclear arms, and we have to say no to carbon emissions. And by using public transport, we can reduce the carbon emission and further we can prevent global warming. And we have to say no to tree felling. Let's plant more plants. Okay? In this special occasion, let us take an oath. We have to plant a single plant in at least in our lifetime once and see whether it grows well. So the plants are the oxygen cylinders of our earth. We have to supply more oxygen. We can, we can plant trees. If we plant a tree, we love others besides himself. Let this interdisciplinary pathway bring a connective link between knowledge of multiple subjects to understand complex issues of the environment. So, on this special occasion, let us take an oath and let us think it over how we are using our mother nature. Let the next future generation enjoy the beauty of the nature and the beauty of the God's creation. Let's go green and make every day earthly. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. We are with a significant academic milestone, the release of the International Conference Proceedings. This scholarly volume stands as a testament to collective intellectual effort, interdisciplinary inquiry, and our shared commitment to ecological justice and sustainable thought. For that, I request Dr. M. Maria Saroja, Research Director and IPSC Coordinator and Associate Professor of Biological Science, to lead the session. Please, ma'am.
Having received an excellent response of 96 papers from the participants, both nationally and internationally, we at Editorial Board is glad to bring forth this international conference proceedings in the form of Volume 1 and Volume 2 to disseminate the knowledge, skills, and values in the field of leading humanity through ecological justice. To release the conference proceeding, may I invite Reverend Sister A. Lady Celestina, the Secretary of our college, to release the conference proceeding, and may I request Dr. Sumita, the Principal, Raniana Government College for Women, to receive the basket.
Thank you, sisters, and thank you, ma'am. Every meaningful beginning is strengthened by gratitude, and every shared endeavor finds completion in the word of thanks. To offer this expression of appreciation with elegance, warmth, and thoughtful reflection, I now invite Dr. Anindra Mary the Controller of Examinations and Assistant Professor of Psychology, to propose word of thanks. Please, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. At this significant moment, as the inaugural session of the 2K International Conference comes to a close. It is my honor to express our sincere and profound gratitude to all those whose vision, leadership, and scholarly commitment have made this conference a forum of international academic distinction. First and foremost, we place on record our deep sense of appreciation to Reverend Sister Lady Celestina, ICM Secretary, St.Ignatius College of Education at Thomas, for her far-sighted leadership, constant encouragement, and gracious release of the international conference proceedings. Her support and guidance have been the cornerstone behind the successful realization of this academic endeavor. Thank you, dear sisters. We extend our respectful thanks to Reverend Sister Dr. St.Ignatius, ICM, Principal of a college, for her inspiring keynote address that set a reflective and intellectually engaging tone for the conference. Her academic vision, academic excellence, administrative excellence, and commitment to quality assurance continue to steer this institution towards global academic standards. Thank you, dear sister. Our sincere appreciation is due to our distinguished chief guest, Dr. J. Sumita, Principal, Rani Government College for Women, Tamilnadu, for graciously accepting our invitation and delivering the inaugural address. Her scholarly insights and thought-provoking perspectives have greatly enriched the academic deliberations of this conference. Thank you, dear ma'am. We gratefully acknowledge Dr. Maria Saroja, Research Director and IPC Coordinator, for clearly presenting the dynamics of the international conference and for meticulous planning and tireless coordination, which have been instrumental in shaping this conference as a meaningful interdisciplinary dialogue. Thank you, ma'am. We extend our sincere thanks to all the resource persons, speakers, and contributors whose kind and consent to share research insights and academic engagements have strengthened the intellectual fabric of this conference and advanced critical discourse on ecological justice. Our appreciation is also extended to the faculty members of St. Ignatius College of Education, with special mention to our beloved Dean of Studies, Dr. E.Z. Pulita, whose collaborative spirit, professional commitment, and dedicated efforts, both visible and behind the scenes, ensuring the effective conduct of this international event. We express our gratitude to the organizing team, Dr. J. Maria Prema, Reverend Sister St.Ignatius, Mrs. Jevashila Jennifer, Mrs. Michael J. Priya, and all the participants, academicians, research scholars, and educators from various institutions and regions and various continents even and around the globe for their active involvement, which truly embody the spirit of international scholarly exchange. To all those who are near and dear, though far but digitally nearer, I express my deep sentiments of gratitude once again on behalf of the selfless ICM management, St. Ignatius College of Education, and the IPC of our college. Thank you, dear all. A special word of appreciation is for our student volunteers whose enthusiasm, discipline, and sense of responsibility significantly contributed to the seamless execution of this conference. Again, we thank all those who have directly and indirectly supported this conference. With sincere appreciation, we look forward to the continued academic engagements and enriching deliberations in the sessions to be conducted ahead. Thank you, one and all. Thank you. Thank you all. We conclude this inaugural session for the International Conference. Thank you all for being a part of the session. Thank you. Respected participants, now we have a short break. We have the refreshment outside and assemble to the same hall after the break. and will assemble within 10 minutes for the next session is waiting for you. Please kindly accommodate and come back. Thank you. So dear participants, those who are presenting the paper, already we have given the schedule. Kindly follow the schedule. Schedule will be there after 2 p.m. after the lunch break. If you need a hard copy of the proceeding, kindly enroll in the registration desk. They will guide you. Thank you.
சரிப்பா சரி சரி நல்லது சவுண்ட் எல்லாமே இருக்குல்ல சரி அது போட்டு சரி மேலே வர வர அந்த ஃபேன் லைட்டா அசிங்கமா தெரியுது வா வா இல்ல போடல அது வேண்டாம் நம்ம இப்போ ஓபிஎஸ்ல ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணிருக்கிறதே ஓகே தான் 10 பேர் கூட உள்ள வரல ஆன்லைன்ல போட்டுவிட்டேன் டீ பேக் போட்டிருக்கிறேன் பாருங்க சரி வா வா அந்த வாக்குல பேசி இது ஸ்பீக்கருக்கு சவுண்ட் வரணும் சிஸ்டத்தில் உள்ள சவுண்ட் இது ப்ரொஜெக்ட் ஆப்ல ப்ரொஜெக்ட் அங்கிருந்து பேச போறாங்க அதுக்கு அந்த பின்னு போட்டிருக்கல அதுதான் போட்டிருக்குது அது அந்த அது மைக் வந்துடும் ஸ்பீக்கருக்கு வந்துடும் அந்த அது அதுக்கு தானே போட்டிருக்கு எப்போ வரல ஒழுங்க மாத்திருக்கீங்க
போய் பேச நினைச்சு
அதை எடுங்க, இந்த பின்ன எடுங்க. ஏன்னா இது 5ல போட்டிருக்கேன்.
இந்த ப்ரொஜெக்டர் அதை தானே மாட்டணும், எதை மாட்டணும் ப்ரொஜெக்டர் எங்க மாட்டணும்?
எது இருந்தாலும் பரவாயில்ல.
ஆனா இதை போடுங்க, 5 கூட்டுங்க. இப்போ யார் பேசுறா? பேசுங்க.
பெரிய பேசு.
இல்லை, நல்லா கொஞ்சம் கூட்டுங்க.
ப்ரொஜெக்டர் இதில் மாற்றி விட்றாங்க. இப்போ இது கேமராவும் தெரியண்டா, இங்கே தான் உள்ளே தான் வரணும்.
ஆமா.
இதுவும் கேக்குதா? அங்க கேக்குது,
அங்கதான் கேக்குது.
அதை கட் பண்ணுங்க.
இது கட் பண்ணிடவா?
இது யூடியூப்பா?
இல்ல இல்ல யூடியூப் இல்ல, இது ஓபிஎஸ் தான். அது அவ அங்க ரெக்கார்ட் பண்றா, அதனால பிரச்சனை இல்லை. இதை மினிமைஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஸ்டாப் கொடுத்துட்டா
பொறுங்க
எக்ஸிட் கொடுத்து வெளியில வந்துருவோம், ஏன்னா இங்க தேவையில்லை.